To hear what others think of the show, head over to Facebook.com, official Loungtastic. And to see bonus episodes, become a premium member over at Patreon.com/Loungtastic. So we are going to review Below Deck here. And what we see is Captain Lee jumping in on a conversation between Nico and Chris Brown. Captain wants to know what's going on because Nico's calling Chris to come to his job, and Chris happens to be out in his bed taking a napsy.
Yeah, dude, Captain was really angry about that. And I think that it was Chris Brown's fault for not vocalizing the fact that he had to go to sleep.
You know, they all went out that night. All Chris had to do is say, hey, if he's entitled to a break. I don't know if they're entitled to breaks.
They're probably not. If everybody else
probably, yeah.
Dude, I just thought he could have, like, hey, Captain, I don't feel well. Can I have...
I'm not Captain. You don't jump the rank like that.
Hey, Nico, I don't feel well. Yeah. Can I have 30 minutes? Bang, you take a 30-minute nap, you wake up, you drink some water, and you're back in the game.
Captain doesn't have to deal with anything. That's part of the perks of being being a captain. Right. There's a chain of command. Nico's here. Everything's delegated. That's why I found the show interesting, because, you know, the captain's worked his ass off. He's earned his spot. He shouldn't have to be on the radio talking. But you see here, they're all getting ready. They got new charter guests coming on. This is probably the most stressful part of the whole deal here. Chris has to learn how to drink. I know he likes to tell everyone he's a professional drinker.
Yeah, he's more of like a bookworm about alcohol than an actual drinker.
You want to go meet a group of professional drinkers? Go to a cemetery. I'm kind of being melodramatic, but if you look at the I don't think it's alcohol. I think it's tobacco. They show that a lot of people are in the ground from secondhand smoke. And I'm like, yeah, look at these idiots I live next to. I got Europeans above me and Europeans below me. They were chain smokers, but I think all my grunts kicked in, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's grunting. We're gonna quit."
This guy won't stop grunting.
I was out here grunt. That's why that white fan is on my door right there, because I'll swing it and I'll put that fan on and that fan on, and I'll just to blow the stuff out. I don't like to smell a cigarette smoke. Dude, I'm sure if I smoked, I'd be cool with it, but
it's the most aggravating smell. And I'm a smoker, but I don't smoke cigarettes. Yeah. The smell of cigarettes to me, intrusive, but the smell of colitas to me is more, it's more aromatic. It's more of an aroma than it is like a smell that burns your nose and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, I made lots of sounds, and I probably said things. I remember there's a few times where...
this guy's grunts are ruining my morning cigarette.
What I did is they got these loud lighters, so the lighter would go, and I would hear that, and I would go, "Oh, motherfucker!" I think I said that a few times. Because I'm out there. Sometimes I don't know why. I'm sure you do. Everyone gets up early for no reason. Saturday or Sunday, you just get up early, so you just sit out there, enjoy the sunrise, or whatever.
Have a smoke with the sun. Have a smoke in the sunrise.
So and then I get out there, and I'm like, this is a nice. I can enjoy the sunrise. Birds are flying into the tree.
Smoking a pancake?
I won't get that reference.
No?
Is that Tropic Thunder or something?
Oh, who'd you get right? Who'd you get right in that movie? That's Austin Powers.
Okay. I should know a lot more. Timeless movie. I would love to see that again. Especially Goldmember. I laughed so hard throughout Goldmember. Front to back.
Goldmember.
Okay.
I love gold! I think we did that already.
No! There can never be too many Austin Powers references.
Most definitely.
Captain Lee, what the fuck are you doing? Playing with your radio, sitting there?
Yeah. You know what I think about Captain Lee's mindset right now that I think is really important is the fact that he thinks that he has to be included because of how green his crew is. He has to be like,
oh yeah, you're right.
What I'm saying?
You're right.
He has to be like more of a presence because he's whipping this crew into shape basically.
So Kate and the captain are talking about what they're going to do to their stewardesses because they got two really green stewardesses in Jen and I guess Brianna
makes it seem like she's not that green. Like she's talked about how she's not actually that green.
She says she's been on boats before.
Right.
So then we get our day workers. I was kind of wondering last time what day workers were. In all the seasons they've done the show, there's never been like people they've hired in addition to the people who are on this ship already. So we see them. They look like typical maids, maybe. I don't even think we see their face. We see their backs for about half a second.
You see them aboard the ship, dude.
I know, but okay, yeah. But we don't know. I don't know what they were really for. I guess they didn't sign the release to be on the show. I think the main problem is if they're on a show working, they have to pay them. So all that footage of them working was probably cut.
Totally, 100%. Hey, speaking of which, I have a audition tomorrow.
Oh, do you? Where?
It's right here on 22nd Street.
Audition for?
A Kevin Hart movie.
Nice.
Seriously.
100%?
100%, dude. They need extras. It's like a movie about like fucking 21 Jump Street. He's gonna do like a undercover cop type thing. Nice. And they're looking for people. And man, I signed up. I sent you the link. I wanted you to try out too. I texted you. Hey, you didn't? You want to come with me tomorrow, dude? It's later in the day. I have to be there.
There's a lot of movie opportunities. Chicago is becoming the new Hollywood, right?
Definitely. Well, because of a lot of television. All the Chicago Fire, Chicago PD. Yeah. You're driving down Little Village or Pilsen or whatever. And then
Kelsey Grammer's show shut down a whole block.
Definitely, dude.
American Idol. They're like, no, this is a Kelsey Grammer sitcom. I'm like, didn't he already do one? That was the one I didn't understand the jokes to when I was 8, so I never watched it.
Yeah, so if I make it, I get paid. They want, like, a brown-ass kid, dude. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to do my hair? Because I have long hair right now. Like, am I going to comb my hair? I'm all for it, dude. But, like, how do I show up? Like, I wanted to slick my hair back, like, wear a leather jacket and shit. And I'm like, no.
Mo's going to be in the background overacting like they're going to be like having a discussion and then he's going to be in the back.
I'm walking here. Hey, quiet on the set, please. I'm walking here.
Extras. Oh, like Kramer, yeah. And then he's trying out for Kramer. And they're like, well, you don't think you're a good Kramer. But I am Kramer.
I'm spending all day tomorrow watching Kramer, dude. I'm going to give him the head shake.
Background there. Everyone else is sipping tea like a normal British person,
right.
And he's like jerking off the sausage in the background.
What the fuck? What's the head shake thing he gives to?
I'm sorry, I'm really nervous. I just wanted to spank one out before I was on camera. You've been on camera for 4 minutes, motherfucker.
Shut up.
That's
dude.
what action means.
I'm not gonna fucking beat my dick on set, dude.
Wait a second. You in the back there, the guy jerking his gherkin, knock it off, or you're fired as an extra. All you have to do is sip tea like a British person, like they do in real life on the west side of Chicago.
Oh my gosh. Kevin Hart's all... Should I do a Kevin Hart impression right now? Yeah. I couldn't believe it. There was this brown kid, and he was beating his meat on set. I was like, what are you doing? Nah, I couldn't finish it, but... Kevin, we heard a lot about difficulties on set. What do you have to say about that?
Now, when I was thinking about Chicago, I had my hopes way up there. I thought it would be great. I thought that everybody would be well-mannered. There'd be good actors. But you know what? There was this one kid in the background, completely inappropriate. I just didn't understand why he would do that. You know that meme going around of me with my face back and my eyes open? It says, he wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
Well, guess what? None of us were ready for what that kid was doing.
No. No, please stop. Please stop being your dick on set.
Do you know the news with Kevin Hart? I don't know, I was watching the entertainment shit before I had to go. That's the worst part about having to work. I miss all the entertainment. The
entertainment news.
I used to like to catch a couple things. Now I just kind of want to know what's going on. I'm kind of more into
I literally only catch about 30% of all entertainment news because most of my entertainment news comes from my Twitter feed, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't go out and like actively search for this stuff. So whatever ends up on my Twitter feed is what I take up, and yeah, like, so I don't know much, but I know what's going on. He like basically he got ousted. He got ousted by his girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Or mistress.
For what?
Well, yeah, he's married with kids.
Right. And he met this girl that he's with now when he was still married. And now what's happening is there is some kind of resistance with his new girl because she has a suspicion that he's cheating, and as somebody pointed out on an entertainment show today, you're going to be ousted the way you were brought in. They like to use the word karma. This was karma getting back at her because she met Kevin when he was still married.
Right.
And they started kicking it off when he was married. What do you think about karma?
You know, it's a universal law, and if you really want to get into it, I think everybody should do good for goodness sake, not so that they can see good come around. Things like this, oh, you cheated on your wife, you married your mistress, and then your new wife, you have a mistress on her. I don't think that's as much karma. It's more of a pattern. Karma is not patternist. Karma is comeuppance. No, you know what comeuppance is, right?
I first heard the word comeuppance on The Simpsons. I want my comeuppance! And then, who is the Reverend? Reverend Lovejoy was like, oh, why did I teach him that word?
Most definitely, that's more comeuppance than karmaic. Where the big part is that his mistress requested a ransom to not reveal herself. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
His mistress requested a ransom to not contact the press, and he refused.
Oh, it's called extortion. They were saying the word extortion.
It sounds like extortion.
He was like, man, bitch, go to the press.
Yeah, that's right.
That sounded like Steve Urkel. Man, bitch, go to the press.
No. You know what? 10 million? Yeah, go to the... You know what, bitch? You know, he opens his mouth really loud. He's always like, nah, you know what, bitch? Go to the press.
Let me ask you a question. Let me put you on the spot here. What if you were a stand-up comedian and you were up and coming, and
at this point, he's not much for an up-and-comer.
No, I'm just saying, like, when he was, and he sold out the first NFL stadium. I've only been to Soldier Field. That's the only NFL stadium I've been to. And what if you had to make and it was sold out? I don't know if that means every seat has been taken or every seat has been taken and the field is full of people.
Right.
I don't know what that means. So you have to entertain, like, I don't know, like 44,000 people or something. Yeah. And they're all looking at you, and you're funny enough that you've made it. What's going through your mind before the show starts?
Man, what's going through my mind is, like, just beautiful thoughts, like, man, beautiful thoughts of journey, beautiful thoughts of, like, perseverance and adherence. I mean, I was watching Jerry Seinfeld today. I was watching his stand-up in 99. Yeah. And it was basically, the point of it was that he was actually tired of stand-up comedy.
It's not an easy thing to do, and you bomb. He says he bombs. Even as professional as he is now, he's bombed. And can you imagine being the number one highest paid stand-up comedian of all time and you bomb? Sometimes the audience sucks. Yeah. Sometimes the jokes you wrote that you haven't tried before suck.
Right.
You know?
You never know. But this HBO special was like him putting out his material that he's never put out before. It was fun to watch. I can't say it wasn't.
And this begins the Stewardess Show with Kate Chastain, Jen, and Bree on
Below Deck Med
Examination.
Training is important. Training is very important. I can think of a multitude of my jobs, because I've had a multitude of jobs, where a lot of the difficulties that I met were because of things that could have been covered in training.
Right.
Training's important.
It's important. I agree with that.
You know, like, say that you start out as a barista in Starbucks and you have 3 weeks of training. Both our first times working at Starbucks.
I remember my first, second, third, fourth day thinking, how could anybody do this? This is nuts. And it was in the heat of things. Like, people were there probably at the biggest point of the year. It was just after the holidays. People need to pick me up. It was in early February is when I started, and everyone kept ordering the one drink we didn't have the ingredients for that we do now, which is the salted caramel.
I remember one of my this is one of our bondiest moments. I don't know if you remember this one, which was when me and you were this was a few times. I would say this is about 2 weeks and me and you knowing each other or so. And I was on cash and you were on bar, and it got very, very busy, and it started toppling a little bit. Right. And I looked at you and I like jumped in bar and I got a few drinks out for you very quickly, and you're like, hey, you've got some hustle, man. And I was like, thanks, But that just reminded me about something that I disliked when I was working with you. You actually used to say that I didn't work enough.
I said that?
Yeah, you used to say that a lot.
Or what's his name?
Nah, you.
There was nobody else that said
No.
that.
I'd be like, damn, like, Lawrence is telling me that I don't do enough. And I'm like, maybe I'm not doing. Maybe there is something fucking lacking with me.
I do remember with the closings, there was some stuff that was kind of left undone. But that's right. So I thought you were going to break into the situation where a line had formed and we were getting the drinks out. I have to say because everyone has specifications. Some people want drizzle on their whipped cream and some people don't. And so it has to be asked. Sometimes I get tongue tied. I looked right at Mo and I had asked in front of two customers.
He asked the lady. Come on, tell the story right.
No. I remember looking at you, and
the lady had specified that she wanted extra caramel drizzle on her drink.
Okay. Oh yeah, and that's right. And so I wanted to make sure that she got it. So I looked Mo dead square in the face, and I said, "Has it got jizz on it?"
Cool, man. Whenever I get in situations like that, I keep it cool. I don't like people that react to situations like that too over dramatically. I was like, this guy just said there's jizz on this drink.
But I said it with such confidence and flair that you knew that. I looked up immediately because I'm like, did anybody hear me say that? So I looked out into the audience because we really are on stage there, and I looked out and the two adult women there were just kind of looking around like in a daze.
Jizz on my drink.
But the girl in the back furled her little her bottom lip. She's like, I know what the fuck y'all just said. The hammer hits the gavel. Enter Captain Lee for Kate Chastain's The Stewardess Show.
The Stew Show featuring Jen Brianna and Kate Chastity.
I love Captain's comment here. He doesn't have a fucking clue.
Right. Hey, that was such a G move by Chris to turn off his walkie-talkie.
I mean, man, you can do that on your last day of the last charter of your life, but don't do that when you're trying to earn some serious tips here. Right. And this is Caribbean. This is some serious money. The Mad Year earned some good money, but in all the seasons they've had more Caribbeans because the stakes are higher. The people who can afford to go to the Caribbean are the ones that give the bigger tips, and let's not beat around the bush. That's why you're here. You're here to make money.
Right away. What else? He just wants to look Chris Brown right in the face and tell him, you're fired.
Next, Captain Lee's like, well, if Donald Trump could go from reality star to president, maybe I'll try it in 2020. Captain Lee, for goddamn president, get on your goddamn remotes and vote for me right now.
Kate ends up with the day workers for the day, so she now has to get her stews in line. So they do some LARPing. You know what LARPing is?
No.
Live action role playing.
Okay. LARP it up. Relax.
Glad you caught it at the same time. Oh man! And they do a live action role play of a charter. What do you think they came out of the other side with?
An iron?
I think they came out the other side with the fact nothing. They didn't come out with anything.
No, these girls are very resistant to Kate's little lessons here, but Kate's getting a free drink out of it. She's drinking this espresso like,
tasty. What is in that? Like Patron and coffee?
Brianna's like, I put some windshield fluid in there.
That's too funny.
Kate and Captain Lee are talking, and they describe it as a litmus test, which Mo looked it up a minute ago, and we found out that litmus test is a way that somebody gets into a certain zone or sector when they have to prove themselves.
And they wrap up the Kate Chastain, Brianna, Jen show with the live action dinner service where they have to service Captain Lee and Kate.
Like Captain Lee would like them to service him.
He does not like one-handed massages, though.
We found that out.
He wants a two-handed massage. But now he gets a four-handed massage from Brianna and Jen.
Four-handed massage? That might break off.
Everybody gets all hands on deck, am I right?
All hands on Captain Lee's deck.
Kate and Captain Lee seem to have really enjoyed their role-playing.
I think Kate and Captain Lee have had a history together outside of a professional setting. I think that, especially when Captain Lee makes these remarks at the end of the last season where he says, and Kate, you still look like the charter guest, not the head stewardess. Non-flirty. And Captain Lee, you're married. Keep it in your pants.
They're just a tight bond, the captain and the chief stew.
The captain's got to get along well with the leader of the deckhands and the leader of the little maids on the inside of the ship.
When you watch Jen make a cocktail, And it's like the most dismal thing ever, dude.
Yeah.
That she is not a bar waitress.
But she looks like she's struggling. I mean, if you're at your Aunt Becky's house and she hands you drinks like that, that's okay. But if you're a waitress in the top tier, the top echelon of service, you need to bring it out on a tray.
Theatrics. It's just everything is supposed to be brought out on a tray. The person needs a fork, it comes out on a tray. The person orders a drink, it comes out on a tray. It doesn't come out in your hand because it just doesn't look right. One way or another, no, it doesn't change much about it. Yeah, I mean it. Yeah, it's crazy, right? I mean, it's probably.
They just waste a steak. Did they just waste 2 steaks on this? It's all theater. I mean, eat it. You had Matt put the grill marks in it perfectly.
Right.
Perfect. You know about the 90-degree flip? Like you flip it every 6 or 7 minutes, 90 degrees, so that it looks like a grill.
What? No, I never heard about that.
He came over. He put his meat up on our grill.
Yeah, oh man, we gotta rip into Kate really quickly for her fucking. I ain't had a drink around these parts since the desegregation of the bathrooms of '89.
Bless her heart. She brought me a drink without a saucer. Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. She walking around here with one arm and still doing her best. Hey, Jen's got a half a brain. Bless her heart.
She like a doohickey on a tractor in the 90-degree day in the middle of the summer.
Oh, man. She like 2 squirrels on an acorn fight in the middle of July.
Oh, no.
You know. Oh, my man Morton. When is Morton gonna get an executive producer spot on this show, man?
This steak is more cooked than a hound dog's asshole in the middle of July in a harvest of a cornfield in Dallas.
It's chewier than a road hog's asshole slapped on a grill with cold charcoal in a corn maze in September. I'm still chewing on it as I speak. Steak is chewier than a rabbit's vagina.
This martini's more virginized than a preacher's daughter.
You know how the preacher's daughter is. Dude, hey, we're back to it. Offending priests. Why'd we ever stop?
This omelet sweating more than a whore in the back aisle of a church.
Greener than a field on my Alabama trail on my way to see the priest's daughter.
Damn. Well, what's green? We gotta think of something that's green. This crew is greener than the Ninja Turtles, but a frog's toenail.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, dude. Alright, frog is good. Look, you just go something like this. This crew is greener than the frog on the plate of Pepe Le Pew's dinner.
This crew is greener than a traffic light in Sarasota with a senior citizen in the front of the line.
Ah, shit, I had one.
So, I'll just get into what we missed here. So they're kind of asking him to see if he's remorseful about, laying down in bed when he should be working like everybody else. Chris Brown looked at Nico and said, "No, the nap was fantastic." Once again, Kate and Jen are together, and on social media, people are trying to figure out why the hell this random laughter happens. Is there an inside joke we don't know about? Is Kate being a bully by laughing at Jen, or are they taking turns like laughing at something that we can't truly understand? Did they cut out a part that was funny and then just throw in that awkward laughter? But what's the deal with that awkward laugh? We may never know. That's a mystery to be thought of and discussed. So here we have Captain Matt talking about the sushi on the first night, because they're looking at the guest plan, and when you pay 6 figures like they do, you get to decide, you get to have preferences, you get to tell them what you want for each meal, what time you want it, how you want it prepared, especially since these charter guests are restaurateurs. Matt's like, sushi on the first night.
And Matt clearly does not have a lot of experience with making sushi, because we hear him exclaim, "I hate sushi. Sushi, I hate you. You killed my brother."
It's not a maraca, sweetheart. Just shake it and pour it. Bless your sweetheart. You delivered it with your hands. Next time, deliver it on a platter. Then we see a funny little clip the editors put in of Bruno, and I don't know if he knew he was being listened to or not here, but Bruno's like, "More brighter than this? Not possible."
Yeah, he's just sitting there wiping down a table, talking to himself.
Bruno, make table shiny.
More brighter than this, not possible.
I do such a good job. You know, Nico not say me do good job. Captain not say me good job. But
I do a good job.
you're literally laughing so hard you're crying right now.
Yeah.
That's good. I want that. We need to pour emotion into this. You think Howard Stern made all those prank phone calls? Dry eyes? You can't make those. He probably laughed his ass off so much, and that's what made him so popular. Is that it was authentic humor and funny.
Bruno becomes a set piece, and this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about misandry. All right. Men are not supposed to be treated as objects for your sexual preference, Kate Chastain. You can't just turn a man into a table. We are not objects. Do not treat us as such. No, I'm not done yet. No, I was just kidding, dude.
Take them out on the boat and give them a good time out in the ocean. Well, wherever. I know you guys probably don't go down to the deep blue part of the ocean, but you go around the Caribbean islands a little bit, and you're telling them that there's a mechanical error when you damn well know there's not a mechanical error, Lee. You should have just told them the truth, which was the first mate is sick. I'm sorry. I know we were contracted to take you out, but we're going to have to stay here, and I got a green crew, and I can't have these green crew members act as any of them, not even Nico, act as a first mate because they're really all inexperienced. I don't care how unprofessional that sounds. I would prefer to hear the truth. And if I was watching the show, I know it probably, maybe this happened 6 months ago or whatever, but I'd be pissed. I'd call up. I'd be like, that's kind of like a breach of contract. Because anytime anybody could just go hang out at a dock and clown around on a skidoo. Anybody could do. You can do that. I could go do that for $60 right now.
Yeah, like the one in Thailand and shit.
Without Bruno's ability to kind of interact with these men that are touching on him and everything, they could have never gotten such a successful tip here. Definitely. This is like walking into a blackjack table and the charter guests representing the hands that they're dealt, they just literally got 2 blackjacks in a row in charter guests.
Definitely. Two calm, easy to deal with type guests that enjoyed their stay on the boat. We're going to enjoy our stay on the boat type deal. I didn't want to say this because it was kind of conflicting.
No, that makes sense.
But not having a first mate is a technical problem.
Oh, yeah.
You technically can't leave the dock.
It's a mechanical problem.
You mechanically can't leave the dock.
No, that doesn't work. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, right.
So Captain Lee got on his high horse in front of everybody, and he does this. He has a good way of being a leadership and speaking clearly and concisely. And he said, "Can't leave the dock. We have a mechanical issue, but we'll get you off as soon as we can."
And they just love that captain talking to them. They're like, "Oh, you could hear the salt in his voice." And the guests were like, "Well, you can get us off anytime."
Now you got it. Okay. Maybe you did before. So Kate says something funny. She says, "I don't know whether it's more embarrassing that Matt is looking at a cookbook on how to cook sushi, or is it more embarrassing that he doesn't realize that it should be embarrassing for him?"
Yeah, he's very calm and collected. And he's reading Sushi for Dummies.
Has a little nerd figure on it.
Yeah.
The first step is you'll want fresh fish from the fish market.
I've never read a For Dummies thing. That's why I don't know anything, because I've never read anything for dummies.
I've read the Real Estate for Dummies one.
Good shit, dude.
Good, yeah.
Definitely. So after dinner service, after the sushi extravaganza, "Oh, sushi, I hate you. You killed my brother." Yeah, who did it remind you of?
Oh, great sound effects lady. Do I have at least 3 numbers right? Oh, great sound effects lady. Do I have at least 4 numbers right? Oh, no.
What is that?
That's The Price is Right. How do you not know that?
I don't watch enough. I didn't watch fucking Bob Barker, man. I only watched it with what's his face.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Was good. Bob Barker was really.
What's his dang name, dude? From Whose Line?
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey. Fucking love Drew Carey.
You know what? I've grown to respect him, but in the first couple years he could not anywhere match where Bob Barker was. Because Bob made it so smooth and so cool.
Right.
Drew Carey was.
Drew Carey's more. Well, Drew Carey's a comic by trade. Drew Carey.
I saw a stand-up comedy. It's like Bob Saget. You never realize how dirty he was until you scrounge it up on YouTube. Do you want to be a centerpiece?
Da.
Yeah, da.
Das ist good. Dude, we're making fun of this guy just because he's European.
As long as they don't touch my penis with tongs or my nipples, I'm good. What's
About that.
Yeah.
About that, Bruno. There's definitely going to be some penis and nipple touching, buddy.
So Bruno's on a centerpiece in there with sushi all over his body. After they've stuffed tissues in his pants, and can you imagine?
Nico was looking at his bulge, and he was like Dr. Frankenstein. He was like, no, more, bigger bulge.
Man, and we've all done that. We've all gone to the beach and stuffed our pants with.
Speak for yourself.
We've all dressed in our mother's clothing, walked around the house and tried to seduce our father.
That's fucking murder.
From Blink-182, Tom DeLonge said that.
Oh, it's still fun.
From their live rock show.
Who would have fucking thunk that Tom DeLonge was fucking funny?
Bruno's on the centerpiece, and then Bruno's quiet for a second, and then we hear him say, "De tongs."
Like he's about to have nightmares about these tongs for the rest of the charter. Yeah. You're gonna hear Bruno like waking up with night terrors, screaming in the middle of the night, like, "The tongs! The tongs! The tongs! The tongs!" And
now,
then
Bruno, tell us where they touched you with those tongs.
And like he starts shaking and shit. Brianna has to like comfort him.
Like he's at a family picnic years later, and
so I was like, "Hey, Bruno, could you pass the tongs?"
No,
starts crying.
They tongs. And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, that's funny.
Bruno, we're celebrating your 1-year anniversary as a Walmart greeter. What do you want? And then he opens it. "Oh, you guys have brought me a gift. Let me open the gift wrap from the side." Says,
The dog. Nah, he enjoyed being a centerpiece. He clearly is a person who enjoys.
I think he likes the attention they're giving him.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not getting that attention from Captain Lee, and he's definitely not getting that attention from his main man, Nico.
Yeah, or any of the ladies on deck. Jen having to deal with Kate calling it early and then going to bang.
No, that didn't happen yet. Oh,
yeah,
did it happen?
Right after that service. At the end of that service. I'm dreaming of a lounge-tastic. Lounge it up. Relax.
Oh, here we go. It cuts to Chris Brown, and he says, "Would I lay down for 6 gay men? I like making money, bro." I was like, "Chris Brown, we were asking you if you like being on a ship. We didn't ask you what you'd feel like doing that."
If you'd lay out and let 6 gay men eat sushi off of your bulge.
You elected to give us that information. So I thought it's weird how Kate is micromanaging Jen.
Yeah, to the point where she's directing her like body.
She says, "No, do dishes now.
Dishes here, dishes these." And she's like, and then she brings up this point that it is customary for the chief stew to retire after dinner service. What do you say about that?
I think that's true. I've seen that happen. Like on earlier seasons when they're more in tune to what's going on, they're more experienced, the head stewardess can go be the head Jesus stewardess.
The head Jesus head giver.
There you go. Kate, it's not going to suck itself. I made you lead stewardess for a reason.
Yeah, so after the sushi extravaganza and the delicious dinner begins, where Kate is like, "Jen, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to start cleaning." But what Kate did not count on is after dinner service is the guests being so needy. The guests were so interactive with Jen for hours. They're like, "Oh, Jen, pour us shots, make us martinis, this and that." Hours and hours after service. This is hours after service. What we had that made life easier on us was that we had a bar closing time, a legal time where the bar could no longer be open, and that's when we closed the bar, and that's when people went home. Jen had to deal with the guests while Kate was out playing tonsil hockey with a man who looked a lot like Chris's Lord and Savior. I have to suck that man's dick.
I think it's a sign from God. He wants me to hang out with Jesus by providing hot Jesus 3 yachts down from us.
Hey, not every dude with a beard and long hair is Jesus. First of all, Kate is adhering to the stereotypical white Jesus theory.
Yeah, and more so on the guests. Like you just said, they do want attention and service from Jen and Bree more than they deserve. Like, they've had their fair share. give those girls a damn break. And so one of the charter guests says, yeah, take your shirt off. And she looks so intent, and she says, I can't. It's a dress.
I don't know why she didn't. You're not supposed to say no.
They're not supposed to say no to the guests, but crossing over the line of humor and, I wouldn't say pervertedness, but inappropriateness.
Pushiness.
Yeah, and pushiness. And they're just trying to see what they can get away with. I think they're drunk. One of them has spent a enormous amount of money for them to be here. The other ones are just there for fun. That's another aspect of the show I don't know if you thought about, but there's only one person that's paying the money, and the others don't pay anything.
That's right.
They don't share in this at all.
There's one primary and a group of mooches.
Well, you can tell the tall blonde guy is the main, because he's the guy giving the tip and first to walk on the ship and everything. Then we cut right to Hot Jesus. Kate is referring to her stewardesses that are working their butts off on the boat. And in her quirky little bitchy way, she says, I'm having fun.
Yeah, she seems... I mean, she comes home pretty late. She comes home with no bra, if you notice.
I did notice that.
She comes home, she walks into her room. Well, maybe, who knows? Yeah, but definitely, what do you think happened between her and Morton?
I think she went down on Morton's fisherman. Trust the Gordon's fisherman. You know that commercial? We have to do it.
Morton's fisherman?
They're struggling and they work their ass off. And they pull in these fish and then they show it in your oven and then it's being tossed on your dinner table at home. And then there's a little jingle that says, Trust the Gordon's fisherman. And it's a fisherman. It's a captain that looks like Captain Lee with the mustache, the beard, the white hair, and a yellow raincoat. And I keep saying to myself when I'm at work, I see this guy, whenever it's rainy, he comes in. He's in every day. He must live across the street or whatever. But he comes in to where I work. And he never goes into my area, but he always walks by. And I'm always like, that must be the Gordon's fisherman.
That's fun. I said Morton's Steakhouse. I thought that one would stick harder.
So Jen is like, Jen is trying to deflect these men who are trying to make her feel very uncomfortable here, and she says, Kate is nowhere to be found, and it cuts right to Hot Jesus, and we see their heads bobbing around a little bit. Looks like they're snuggling, getting snuggly buggly with each other, and Jen's like, I want to throw Kate under the bus and keep hitting her over and over again.
You know what I thought, man? I thought Jen was so saddened and affected by the situation.
Right.
When I thought it could have been a time for Jen to make a place for herself.
Right.
To show strength and to
perseverance.
Yeah, and to gain some power on the boat. Instead of being so affected by this, she could have just been like, oh, this is my time to shine. Let me just do this. Okay, now I can't take any shit. Now nobody can give me shit.
Especially for the fact this is a 2-day charter here. Get it together. Put on your game face. Stay there for 48 hours, and you'll be back at the club dancing like a freak in no time.
That's right. Which is what we ended up seeing. We saw a freaky side of Jen.
Yeah. But what we see now is it's 4 a.m. according to the subtitle on the screen there, and Kate is just calmly walking back to the yacht.
Right on. Like nothing ever was.
And to me,
this episode begins the schism between Jen and Kate. The one that we're going to see.
Right.
The one that we're going to see progress.
Just when you think it couldn't get any more tension filled between, Bruno and Nico, boom. Here we have tension between Jen and Kate. And it started off with Jen dropping a B-bomb on her boss.
She called her a bitch. She felt perturbed. What the hell is that?
It's like a French word.
Yeah, it's what is it? French for perturbed.
I'm feeling perturbed.
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what the heck perturbed means, but she felt that way. She calls Kate a bitch to Kate's face in front of the guests as well, right? And then Kate, right in front of the guests, says that Jen sucks at her job, which affected Jen even further.
And someone says you suck at your job. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely something that's not something you want to hear from your superior.
So Nico tells everyone over the radio what his desires are for everyone, and they went from Bruno and Chris Brown doing the nitty-gritty, everything. The ropes, the washing of everything, the bringing the little dinghy back on board, to now Nico exemplifies the part of his sentence when he says, I want you on the stern just watching everyone else work. Captain Lee comes on, and I didn't expect this part, but Captain Lee's like, well, we're putting a rib in the water, and it was a clusterfuck. This time around, it was much better, and Captain Lee looks right at Bruno and says, nice job, Bruno. And for me, I was like, wow. That was my experience.
Yeah, Bruno definitely getting his favorite thing in the world, which is praise.
Right, and recognition.
From his captain as well, mainly.
So then we go to this real awkward part that I had no interest in, but I'll talk about it anyway. They're having a discourse about if tequila and eggplant parmesan pairs well together.
Yeah.
They're thinking, what the hell?
They're getting all picky, and they're like, oh, there's this tequila and parmesan. And no, he's thinking about tequila and tomatoes. That's the flavor that he wants to pair, is the tequila tomato sauce, Italian sauce, caprese salad that he's thinking about. And don't tell the chef. And you know what they ended up with? Spanish rice and fish. You guys were about to have this caprese salad made with this special sauce, and he was going to include tequila in it, but no. Frickin' this guy had to put a face on the whole thing. One of the charter guests had to flip a face at Matt, and Matt, being the kind-hearted, considerate fella that he is, instantly switched plans, and they ended up with Spanish rice and fish.
Rice is never a decent meal, in my opinion. Rice is just boring.
My big thing is that tequila isn't even a Spanish drink. Tequila is a Mexican drink. Tequila's made in South America.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they're getting into that, but that's pairing. They're just trying to think, and maybe in culinary school, they probably cut out the part where he says it, but probably in culinary school, Matt did pair eggplant with tequila. I'm just saying,
Who knows?
He was so confident about it, it seems like it was a real thing.
Definitely. But he ends up actually like saying that he doesn't know much about tequila, you know?
This is the part here where things happen, where Jen is kind of set to fly solo because Kate's like, hey, that's what we usually do. The head stewardess flies the coop, disappears for a few minutes, has sex with hot Jesus, gets it in, has her lady time, and then...
These guests are wrecked, dude. These guests are tattered.
If you're not wrecked, you haven't really... enjoyed it like a frat boy.
Right.
I literally said it exactly how it is. All right, so because honestly, there have been guests that don't drink alcohol at all on this show, and they're getting the full experience. They're not living life through a bottle.
Right.
You know, they're getting the full experience. They're remembering their experience. I respect that. I thought it was going to be dumb, but it made sense. Oh, nice nipple shot of Kate there.
Yeah.
That nipple is like a hard sugar cube.
That nipple was right there like, what's up?
So our nipple rating, I'd give that nipple a 9.5 out of 10. How would you rate that nipple, Mo?
I think you're a pretty generous rater. I would give that nipple a 6.7.
6.7 nipple out of that one.
There you go.
Bree's got some hands.
Trying to build a repertoire with Brianna.
Yeah, because when one guy notices a girl, all the other guys jump on the same girl. It's not all about, there's an equal ratio for each guy to girl. It's all about,
one hot girl and the entire male crew.
Yeah.
And
last season it was Malia.
Yeah.
The season before that it was kind of, well, I wouldn't say.
It was really.
Well, there was a Rocky girl, and it was weird because she was flirty and everything, but it was more about her struggles than who she was trying to get with, or who was trying to get with her. We'll have to get into that more. That's if you are interested in seeing that season, it's well worth it. A lot more happened in that season than what's happening here.
Brianna's the it girl this season, with a lot of male interest.
Right.
Chris Brown focusing in, while Matt is trying to build repertoire. But it seems as the man who she's leaning most towards is actually Nico Scully.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone seems to gravitate towards the man in charge. When Kelly was in charge, the women gravitated towards him. Way back in the first few seasons when Eddie was becoming a bosun, the women gravitated towards him. I guess you could say women like a man with power.
Definitely, it's definitely something they enjoy.
Which is why you can see Melania got with Donald, because obviously of the power, right?
Right. Interesting.
So I like the part where someone's expecting Kate to explain herself a little bit here because, hey, you're head stewardess, your stewardesses are messing up, and what do? You walk away. And Kate's reaction to that was, Jen doesn't need to know where I slept last night.
Ooh.
You remember that?
I do remember that line. That's a rough and tumble one.
So Captain's giving single liners for all the people on the ship here, and for Bruno he says he's making progress. So the word's progress. He goes to Baker. He says Baker, shaky, and then he gets to Chris Brown, lost.
Yeah, apparently Chris Brown is now the horse in last place. While Bruno is progressing finely, Chris Brown is actually the man in dead last. What do you say?
Man, things really took a big shift here. I agree.
Incredible.
The tension could not be cut with a knife between frickin' Kate and Jen here. And I thought that I'd never seen a rivalry between two people more than Rocky and Kate. But right now, this trumps any other rivalry that... And a lot of people have had a problem with Kate, you know. She's more direct. She doesn't sugarcoat things. She doesn't make you feel comfortable.
Yeah, pressure is mounting between these two. And the previews show that the fight is going to continue. That there's definitely going to be something that takes place, is that they're going to get into it clearly, because Jen, and we've seen this before, the third stew feeling like she's being taken advantage of, while the chief stew is the one executing power and such and what have you. So it seems as they're gonna get into it, dude. And
oh yeah.
And they even cut off. We don't even get to see the entire party scene.
No.
But what we do see is the interaction between Kate and Jen. Jen wanting to leave the club and to go home.
I don't want to get that far. Jen is closing a cabinet in front of Kate's face, and Jen decides to just kind of let out the big B-bomb. She says, Kate's such a little bitch.
Yeah.
And then Kate turns around. You know, Kate, you sink your teeth into Kate, she's going to bite back twice as hard. With the guests right in front of them, Kate turns around and says, well, she sucks at her job, but she's hilarious.
Yeah, there was a lot of the you know what I'm saying, like ding ding, like everybody stepped into the ring. Jen and Kate stepped into the ring, and that started. The jabs are starting.
Boom, boom, boom.
Everyone's throwing jabs. Everyone's throwing right hand, left hand combos, stuff like that. Definitely.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Let's get prepared to squabble. There you go. That's how you don't get us shut down, dude. And
oh yeah, okay.
What we end up with.
That's not true.
What we end up with is trademarked as all hell. Are you serious? Are you let's get ready to rumble? Let's trademark this.
If you smell it, what the Rock is cooking.
Awesome. And my favorite,
shut your mouth.
Favorite highlight of the Jen Kate fight is when I forgot what Jen says to Kate, but Kate says you should shut your mouth, and Jen says you should shut your vagina.
Yeah, that was like taking it up a notch. There it is.
Yeah, dude. Gay dudes love drama, dude.
Then after the scene where they're arguing, well, yeah,
no, they're laughing.
This is like their own Bravo channel.
Look, they're eating it. They're on Bravo. They're fucking.
No, watch her smiling. Now watch Jen's face turns right now.
Yeah.
So how you? Oh
Look,
no,
Jen,
you
Jen's
did.
Face. Yeah, Jen's
she said.
face.
Then it cuts to Jen and says, "If it happens again, she should be sorry."
Yeah, and then Kate says that the more Jen shows that she wants, the more Kate feels like she's going to show her why she shouldn't.
Right.
Which
Good
is
memory. Good
yeah,
job.
yeah, we're gonna see some serious squabbling out of these two.
Then we see some, what kind of fish was that?
Red snapper.
Red snapper. Good memory.
Which
I
is-
remember all this shit, man.
Well, red snapper, I read it. When you read something, it's much easier to remember
Okay.
than if you just heard it.
I didn't remember that.
Yeah, it was on the label.
So here we are next morning, moving things around, and Nico's like to Chris Brown, if you're going to take a nap, you better pack your bags afterward.
Yeah, the last thing you're gonna do on this boat is take a nap, buddy.
So we placed bets on how much they'd get here, and
That was close.
there was some discrepancy in if we were talking about the total or what each would get. So
I always say the total. It's easier for me to do the total because I can't do the math.
so you were pretty close. You said 16.5. Yeah, $500 off. I thought you were talking about each. I said $1,400 each. And they actually got a $17,000 tip.
Yep.
That's $2,100 a person.
Definitely a beautiful sight to see. My boys working hard and getting that paper.
You sounded like Aziz Ansari.
Nice. That was Pharrell Williams.
Still sounded more like Aziz. I keep wanting to say that at work. Like, I was thinking that all day today. Like, if I'm going to go out, because people are so damn demanding, I could see my last words working there be, oh, so you want that, huh? Gotta have it now.
Gotta have it. I gotta have it.
Yeah, it's going to, she takes good selfies. Boy, she's cute.
Yeah, she is.
She looks like Kaylee Hayes, my friend, my Daytona Beach friend that was in the movie Sex Drive that they were driving for. So she was cool. I remember just kissing her on the cheek. I kissed an actress. Yes, she's a B-list movie actress.
How did you land that?
Huh?
Did you land that kiss?
Because she works at the nightclub. When she's not acting, she works at the nightclub in Daytona Beach, and I was good friends with that pack of people that own that nightclub. So when I walked in, I'd say, "Oh, hey, Kaylee," and I would like kiss her on the cheek, even though we had just briefly met. A cheek of any other would just not do. Apparently, everybody's got moves.
I'm like, yeah, Chris Brown, your best move is chugging a six-pack in fucking 20 minutes, right?
Well, he is the hero of all alcoholism.
Yeah, Chris Brown's best move is chugging a beer. That's all I got.
I pretty much know everything about malt beverages. And then someone's like, "Hey, Chris, you ever hear of scotch?" He's like, "What's that?"
Scotch is aged vanilla. It's about 51% of...
He looked really mad. Nico doesn't like drunk people grabbing on him.
Chris is definitely... He's got his focuses on Brianna, but Brianna, I guess, is... she's playing the options, basically. She's taking her options carefully.
He's a newbie.
Who's a newbie? Christian?
Chris doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
I guess so. He's got his eye of the tiger on. You know what I'm saying?
I bet he feels like a flippin' idiot for all those years he didn't get laid. Like I bet he sounded so good. Like I'm saving myself for. You see him like 24, 25, and then finally he turned 26 before he's like, "This is garbage. Why would God give me a wiener to not use it?"
Well,
So it's kind of weird how when Kate is talking to Sweet Jesus there, how he looked her in the eye and said, "You buying?" while she was mic'd up and such confidence, suavidity,
yeah, suavidity.
and such suaveness.
So much suaveness, in fact, that Kate agrees to buy this man drinks.
So how well did he eat that?
Hey, apparently good enough, bro. I mean, she bought him a beer, right?
Her eyes lit up. Whatever he did to her on that boat, like solidified her interest in men again.
Yeah, he definitely took care of that balloon knot.
Ooh, there we go. Chris Brown, the rapper, is going to come out with, or I should say Chris Brown, the R&B artist. I don't think he's a rapper. Chris Brown, the rap and B artist, is going to come out with a song called "Touching on Your Balloon Knot."
Girl, I'm touching on your balloon knot. Dude, they had a good night out.
Fucking Bruno looked like Alex P. Keaton.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, from Growing Pains. Michael J. Fox?
Yeah, I know Michael J.
You must have seen that on TV Land,
Right? No.
where he's like a young lawyer or whatever, and he's like a smart...
An actual
Sorry.
channel? Or is TV
I don't
just
know.
for seeing what the fuck's on TV?
I have had cable. I grew up in a house without cable, so... I only saw TV Land, the cable channel, when I was at relatives' houses, and I thought it was like old shows.
The only thing I ever used to see on TV Land, and this was before I had a cable box, was what was on TV at the moment, because I wouldn't be able to like get the name of the movie or get the name of the television show I was watching. So I would go to TV Land, and it would have all the channels slowly scrolling through all the channels.
Wow.
And that was the only thing I ever used to do at TV Land.
So what did you think of this scene here where Jen has obviously way too much, and it's kind of a good segue because Matt was like, for a small framed woman, she can handle a lot of her liquor. Immediately, she's going off the rails.
Yeah, she's like, I can't be this drunk. I am not too drunk to function.
I never get drunk.
Beep beep boop 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 boop. Sometimes you are drunk as well. Like I never get too drunk to be around people, like unless I'm like dry heaving. That's when I'm like, please take me away from Nah, I don't know what the heck happened to Jen. She definitely fell off the rail.
So she decides to go where all girls in the club or party area go when they're drunk. She goes to the stall and sits down with her shoelaces untied. She screams out for her mother goose, her mother hen of the family. Hey! And we see Kate look around like, are you serious?
Right. Nothing gets between me and my Jesus penis.
Not even a quick lesbian fling. Below Deck Season 4. Oh, we see the preview to the next episode where they're trying to dock the boat. All hell breaks loose, and Captain drops another profanity. Steady? Steady? God damn it. You fucked up the whole ship.
Damn it all to hell. Damn the Pope. Damn the Queen. Damn Sinead O'Connor. Just start... Damn them belts with the... Damn them socks with the belts on them. Damn Guy Ritchie.
Damn the dogs with the socks on their feet.
Damn people who dress their damn dogs up like some sort of damn humans. Damn it.
Damn those Wall Street assholes. Damn that orange juice that doesn't come off the tree from Florida oranges.
Oh, damn not gold watches. Damn Portugal. I can't wait to see the next episode.
Yeah.
They finally crash the boat.
Captain Lee finally has to live his life as a McDonald's
fry cook because he crashed the $12 million boat.
They're like, damn it, Lee. This is the last time. There's no swearing next to the fry pit.
Damn it. I said all hands on deck. What are you talking about? Get those fries out, Lee.
You know, I used to be a seaman.
Yeah, we all used to be seamen. Get the fuck back to work.
I used to be captain of a vessel. And I used to ram it right up Kate Justine.
Oh,
and I made her lead stewardess. You called her headmistress on the podcast. You said it with such confidence. You're like, we're trying to see what the lead mistress is up to. I would laugh so hard. I was like, that is so fucking funny. And then you're like, I don't know why the stupidest things are funny to me. Then you're like, Dr. Marcy is at it again. just I say it so confidently. I'm like, oh god. There's a lot of those guys. Well, the guy with the crew cut, the jade citrus mint. That guy. Yeah.
Oh,
He kind of looks like Brad Pitt. He's got that.
I talked about something really depressing one time, and then after that, every time he sees me, he has like this sad face. Yeah. So I just stopped talking.
So we just went to go see it, and it was a bit corny at parts, but it delivered. If you're 14 or 15 years old, it's a perfect horror movie. Definitely. And you've never seen any other horror movies in your life.
It's like a mixture of just like your average old horror movie mixed in with your average old like coming of age story, and it had this modern twist on it, the modern twist that all movies have on them nowadays, that like this modern take. You know, like apparently like Tony Romo is, you know what Tony Romo is? He's taking the broadcasting game by storm.
How?
He's achieving some minimal success.
He's turned into a broadcaster?
Yeah, he turned into a broadcaster.
Do that to get a concussion.
Yeah, definitely. He was already he was very, very injury prone. Like he was catching injuries every season. Every single season he was catching back injuries too, which is huge. You know, you get enough of those and your spine fucking collapses on itself. But no, he's a broadcaster now, and apparently he's like a really fun broadcaster because he, unlike all other broadcasters, he's fresh out of the NFL.
Okay.
Like all the players that come out of the NFL and become sports characters, they always are on pregame shows, postgame shows, stuff like that. Yeah. But he's during game commentary, in-game commentary. Right. So this guy is fresh off of the NFL, so he knows what's going on, and he apparently he's calling plays. He's like to tune in. Yeah, he's calling plays. He's like, oh, they're gonna run left. They're gonna pass it down the middle. Huh?
I like getting into football.
Yeah. I used to love watching football and stuff, but I mean, but it was because I was playing a lot of fantasy.
Yeah. Did you win money from that?
The best I ever took 1 year was second place.
How much money was that?
It was $100.
Okay.
Yeah. I was supposed to get $300. But, but I started a guy I wasn't supposed to start.
And where did you get your information on how...
I was the man that year. I was the man. I knew everything.
You knew about injuries and talent?
Everything. But then, towards the end of the year, the fact that I even made it to the finals, I made it to the finals, with the skin of my teeth.
Right.
And I had to make a lot of changes, and I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at my quarterbacks, and I'm like, oh, which one do I take? Which one do I take? Which one do I take? And I put in the guy, and I was 4 points. Or, I was 10 points off or something, and the other guy would have delivered. But, I mean, that's the story of fantasy football. You ask anyone.
Wonder if that merge is ever going to happen with those giants of fantasy football. Has it happened already?
I don't think
I haven't been following it, but one offered the other one a huge amount to buy out the other one.
Definitely.
And if I was on the receiving end of that, I would take that into consideration. It was like some goofy number.
Definitely.
Like $200 million or some shit. I'm like, what? How are they making money off this stuff? I remember back in 2006 when I was living, I guess I should say it really was 2005 when I was living in Spangdahlem, Germany, when those fantasy leagues were hitting off. The guys would come to my room since I found a little laptop. We're all brand new guys to the military, and they came to my room and were messing around on my laptop, fantasy sports, and they were talking so confidently to each other about who was this and what was going to happen, and they all lost their money. I was like, if you guys are going to speak confidently about guys that are playing, make sure you know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't just say,
oh yeah, this guy did good. Actually, I know what it takes to be good at fantasy football, and all it takes is just unscathed amounts of research. All you have to do is research and stuff like that. But you know what happened to them? What was their big controversy?
No.
They had internal gambling issues. Employees taking statistics, taking statistics from the program itself,
right,
and using it to play the program and winning 80% of the time.
Manipulating, okay.
Yeah.
that's like insider trading.
Yeah, insider trading.
Wow.
Out of the employees. That was
I
huge.
remember hearing about that, but that was 2 solid years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's out of my head right now. I forgot about all that.
I used to, dude. FanDuel got so big that I saw a commercial for it.
Yeah.
In a video game, in the basketball video game, which I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
FanDuel is fucking sports betting. This is a kid's video game. What the hell's going on here?
Thank you for listening to Podcast 9. Next week, we're going to start our video podcast series. It'll be our 10th anniversary of podcasting. You're going to see Mo, and you're going to see me, and we're going to provide a video experience like no other. We're going to be naked with whipped cream on our nipples.
We really love the support and love our fans give us. If you have a minute, check us out on iTunes and leave a review. And if you don't want to do that, maybe next time you're talking to your friends about a similar subject, you could mention that you had fun tuning into the Loungtastic podcast, and we could get a fun interactive community going on. Spreading the word really helps us grow, and it means the world to us. At Instagram, we're at Loungtastic, on Twitter, or at Loungtastic.
If you have a minute, check us out on iTunes, leave us a review. And if you don't want to do that, maybe next time you're talking to your friends about similar subjects, you can mention that you have fun tuning in Loungtastic podcast, and we can get a fun interactive community going on. Really, thank you guys so much. We appreciate the support. And if you don't want to do any of those things, it's okay. We're really happy you're listening. Thank you.